Hey there, welcome to episode 111 of Mike's Collection. I'm Mike, and with me again is my friend Matt, better known as Matemylar on the internet. How's it going, Matt?
Going good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun having a guest. So yeah, hopefully we can do this with some frequency.
Totally down.
So I know we didn't really plan what we're going to talk about in this episode so much, but I've got some new stuff that I'll show you and I'll show everybody.
I can't wait to see it.
You've got some new stuff, I assume too. All right. So first up, I got this dude here. So this is one of the Gundam Universe figures.
So this is one you don't build. It comes already built and fully articulate. Yeah. Nice.
So that's the thing. Like I'm into Gundam. I've never watched the show, so I'm not going to pretend to know at all what's going on. Like I don't know. I know there's tons of different cartoons, and I don't know which ones tie together. But I started collecting like Gundam Wing figures in the '90s when Bandai first started putting them out, and I kind of have walked away from it for a long time because, as far as I know, there haven't really been action figures available, at least not in North America. It's always been model kits, and I can't paint for shit, so I didn't really want to. But yeah, so when these Gundam Universe 6-inch figures started coming out, I was looking at them and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. And so I bought 2 of them, and I do quite like them. I really don't want to get into going crazy with them.
Right.
And this guy here, at first I told myself I would only buy like new 6-inch versions of my favorite ones that I had from the smaller 3 3/4-inch line that I was collecting in the 90s. But this one here, I don't even know if he was in the 3 3/4-inch line. His name's Easy 8, I guess. I don't know.
Cool.
And yeah, I don't know if he's from Gundam Wing or from one of the other series. But yeah, I just thought he looked really cool. Like very kind of. This looks like a guy. I don't know if he's a unique character. He kind of looks like he could be like a generic cop robot or something.
Definitely.
But yeah, so I thought he was cool. And he's got 2 of these little lightsabers and some guns, and yeah, they move really well and everything. So yeah, so he's fun.
I got into the model kits a little bit, but such a rabbit hole with the different grades, like the high grade and the real grade and whatnot. And then scale comes into factor. And like you, I didn't really watch any of the anime per se. I mean, I'd put it on the background while I'm taking pictures or whatnot, just to watch the images. But as far as knowing the story and the background and who's who, and yeah, I have no idea.
These are old, like for anybody that's watching. But they're new to me. So I get some of those 2-packs from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Because, I love the Marvel movies, but I'm more of a Marvel comic guy. And if I was going to get a Grandmaster figure, like, he's not a character I ever really felt I needed an action figure of. But if I was to get one, I'd rather have the comic book version. Like, when I see this, all I see is Jeff Goldblum.
Exactly.
So I didn't really feel compelled to go and buy these sets when they were like $60 or $70 initially. But yeah, my EV Games had them for like $13.
Amazing.
So yeah, I figured, you know what? Even if it's Jeff Goldblum, it's kind of cool to have a Jeff Goldblum figure. So I got him, and he came packaged with Korg.
Oh, nice.
And this guy's cool because like he looks pretty close to his comic book appearance. He's like a different shade, but otherwise, like whether he's the movie version or the comic version doesn't really matter so much. So he's cool. And then I also got the 2-pack with Scourge. So he's pretty cool. And again, I prefer to have a comic book version of this guy on my shelf. But yeah, for $13, why not? The likeness is really good. I don't know if you can see
really good, yeah. Yeah, they nailed it. What a great scene in that movie too, right? With the machine guns at the end.
And he does come with his axe too, so I can display him with the one big kind of axe / mallet or whatever. But yeah, the 2 machine guns is the way to go.
Yeah.
And then he came with a figure I really didn't need. It was with another Hela.
Oh yeah.
Just because I already had her from I think the single pack, or I don't even, maybe she came in, I don't know, I don't remember where I got her from. But yeah, they're basically the same from the neck down. The heads are slightly different. You can see this one's got the eyes covered, so it kind of looks like the comic book version.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's the same head, but her eyes are exposed.
Is it a different color green? It's kind of coming across like the one you just put down was a little darker.
I don't think so. Although, actually, you know what I'm just noticing? Like, her breasts, for example, the green breasts.
Yeah.
Black. So, yeah, but I think it's the same color, but yeah, they are painted slightly different. I'm just noticing that.
Right.
But, so she came with some alternate hands. I like this one here with holding the Thor's hammer out so she can catch it like she did in the movie there. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And also, I'll probably display that one with one of the two alternate heads. Both of them are Kate Blanchett, like really nice.
Very nice.
On there. So you got the kind of nice combed hair, and then you got the disheveled one here. So, yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
So yeah, so those are cool. I also get another one of these little bone transformers.
Oh yeah, what do you think of them?
Well, I think they're cool actually, because like when Kingdom launched, I was kind of like, good, I don't have to buy these because I didn't care about Beast Wars stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't buy Optimus Primal, and I didn't buy Cheetor or Black Arachnia, but I did buy the one, I forget his name now. Paleotrex, I think his name was.
Something like that, yeah.
And he was like a 6-inch bone guy. He turned into like, it looks like a raptor skeleton or something. And I didn't really know where to classify him. I was like, does this guy count as a Dinobot, or is he a Beast Wars, or like, I don't know. He's kind of weird. And yeah, when this guy, I saw him, I was like, and actually it turned out, I posted pictures of this guy on Instagram and said, this guy is okay, but then people corrected me and said it's a girl, apparently, so this is a she. And now I'm forgetting her name right now. But I didn't like her robot mode, because she still has, like, these are basically her feet in robot mode, so she's got weird, and I think that looks weird, like she's got bird legs or something, and she's got these goggle eyes, which I just wasn't really digging it. But I was like, yeah, but the alt mode looks cool, like from the back of the package. And yeah, once I got it home and transformed into this like little bird skeleton, it's like, this is awesome, actually. Like, I love it. Like, it looks really good.
It looks great.
You can't even really tell it's a transformer. Like, there's not really any kibble hanging off of it that's super obvious. It folds up really nice. And part of the reason is because she has these stupid legs in robot mode. But, you know, it allows the fewer pieces to tuck away.
Right.
So, yeah. I display most of my Transformers as robots, but yeah, this one's definitely going to stay on my shelf as a little dinosaur. So yeah, that was super cool. Two more things. I got the Battle Armor He-Man.
Yes.
So these things are still super hard to find. Although I think maybe last time we talked about it, I was still like kind of stressing out about hunting these things down, very frustrated. But the exclusivity with Walmart has ended, so now you can order all this stuff at like Big Bad Toy Store. So I think it's going to take them a while to get their stock in, but I was able to order waves 1, 2, and 4, and now even 5. So the only wave I have right now is wave 3. That's the Merman and Roboto and stuff. But I kind of feel I can rest easy knowing I'm going to get them eventually. They're all in my pre-orders.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, if I find them in the wild, like I did with this one, this was just the one random He-Man figure on the peg. I grabbed it and then I just deleted my pre-order from Big Bad because, yeah, I don't have to pay for the shipping and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's pretty cool. He's got the, I don't know if you can see it, but like if you slash his armor, it clicks to the one back, slash it again, and it does the double slash.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, I don't know if you had that as a kid, but like
I do. He's like 5 feet away from me right now, but I can't quite reach him with my headphones on.
Yeah, and he also has the it's over there too, so I can't grab it, but he's got a head that matches the vintage toy. So if you want him to look more like the vintage guy, you can do that.
Oh, that's so cool.
I kind of like the new head just because it differentiates him from. I actually have my old He-Man. I was doing a side by side for Instagram, but like there's my vintage He-Man. So the head is pretty much identical to that. But like I kind of like that this head is kind of cartoonier and it kind of separates them from like, this is the vintage line, this is the Origins line, and
it's grown on me a lot. When the new head came out, at first I was kind of, I'm not sure if I'm digging that, but yeah, I'm definitely into it now.
And the last figure I just got the other day, and I never thought I'd be buying a figure of her, but this is Stephanie McMahon. So this is her Masters of the WWE like crossover. And what's cool is like all the Masters of the Universe figures come with mini comics, and so do the WWE ones. And I think in the first wave of these, Triple H might have had like this skull mask.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, I haven't followed the storyline because I didn't get any of the earlier figures, but I think maybe he died or something happened to him. So Stephanie McMahon finds his skull mask and like puts it on in a comic book and like takes on the mantle of the skull god or whatever the hell she calls herself. But like this clips off really easily, and so then you get like Stephanie McMahon's face in there.
Very cool.
But like, yeah, this is a good stand-in for like, could be Evil Lynn's apprentice if you don't want to think of the wrestling tie-in. Like some of the other ones, like if you get Hulk Hogan or Macho Man, it's kind of hard to pretend they're a real character that lives in Eternia because they look so obvious like Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. But yeah, this here, like you wouldn't think that was Stephanie McMahon if I didn't tell you yet. And yeah, so this is a pretty cool little figure. And it made me finally cave and order some of these guys on eBay. I never shop on eBay anymore, like haven't really for years. But this is probably from wave 5 of these, like, and I haven't seen any of the earlier waves in store. The only other one I've ever seen and bought was this dude, and I don't even know who he is. Like he's a more modern wrestler. He's after my time.
The Fiend, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so today I went on eBay and I bought the Macho Man, which is kind of like a Man-at-Arms. He's got Man-at-Arms armor. And I got Rey Mysterio, and he's got like Strato swings and stuff. And I bought Mr. T, who's got like big gold like Jitsu gloves.
Yes. And
who was the other one I bought? Jake the Snake. And Jake the Snake, you can take his face off like King Hiss, and he's got a snake face. So yeah, those guys are all coming in the mail. And I didn't pay much more than I would have at retail, so that's cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's my new stuff. You got anything you want to show off?
Yeah, well, thanks to you, I managed to pick up the new Scarlet with the repaint. Haven't opened it yet because I've used my other Scarlet so much the joints are so loose, so I want to keep her as nice as possible.
Yep. I can grab her here.
Nice. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, like we talked about these in our last video, and we were saying like, hey, did you see that these were out? Because I just had seen them online like a couple of days before that. And I said, yeah, if I see them, I don't plan on buying them, but maybe if I see them in the wild, just because these G.I. Joe figures are still so rare to find. It's like the Masters of the Universe. I saw it. They only had one of these in the store I was in, and I was like, huh, and I just like instinctually just bought it. And I was like, I don't know why I really bought this. I liked the original one just fine. But yeah, once I got them side by side, I think I am liking this one more.
Yeah.
Not necessarily enough to justify the purchase, because if they keep repainting this thing like 6 or 7 more times, like I don't know where I'm gonna have to draw the line. Like, I'd probably be more likely to buy it if it was in like white winter camo or green jungle camo. But this is so close.
Yeah.
The original one that I probably would have skipped this if it had come out a little bit later down the line. But just because it was, like I said, just an impulse that I basically picked it up.
And I have to thank you. You messaged me and said, hey, there's some stock at EB. And so the next day I went out, still had lots there. So I managed to get one.
So are you thinking, would you buy Roadblock and Duke if you see him?
Duke, maybe.
Yeah.
More because he's my favorite character outside of Gung Ho and Snake Eyes. Roadblock, if he was colored like his first version, absolutely hands down, I would sell cocaine to nuns to have that color. But
sure,
yeah, Yeah, it's got to be. I heard a rumor June. There might be a new roadblock in June, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's like the line just started this year. That would be the fourth roadblock already. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Have you got any notifications from Big Bad Toy Store that Zartan or any of the other stuff is in?
So I actually have a Zartan and 2 Cobra Troopers in the mail now.
Nice.
I'll have them eventually. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them. They look awesome. Like I've seen reviews and stuff on them. Like yeah, the Zartan looks great.
Yeah.
So pretty excited about that. And then yeah, Flint and Lady J whenever they're coming out. And I'm really hoping they announce that the other Cobra Island characters are going to get a wide release down the road. Like I can live without that other roadblock. Beard, even though if I got it, I would just in my mind that would be heavy duty on my shelf, like a different character.
Totally heavy duty.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't just name him heavy duty. Like in my mind, I would think that would sell more because fans would say, "Well, that's a different character." But maybe Roadblock is the more marketable name, and they did the research, and maybe Roadblock sells that figure better than heavy duty. But just the way my mind works, I think he's not essential to me because he's the same character I already have.
Yeah.
All you do is put a different name on him, and I would have been like, "Need him," but. But yeah, like the Beachhead and the Viper and the Firefly, that'll be criminal if they don't. And Baroness, I'm hoping they do a Baroness without the motorcycle that I can get at retail.
I'd be very surprised if they didn't do a single card release of Baroness. Maybe something a little different, a different paint scheme, maybe different glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd be super surprised if we didn't see that.
Yeah, because the longer they make us wait, the closer I'm getting to just going on eBay and paying the big bucks. I don't want to.
Fortunately, I've convinced myself that while I'm waiting for G.I. Joe to become more available, I can just like fill that hole with Black Series.
Right. Yeah. So you've been buying a bit of those.
I have. Yeah. I got a bit of a funny story because it ended on a positive note, but I picked up. I guess here. I hope it shows up well. But I got
bring it over a little bit.
Which way? This way?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So I got the San Diego Comic-Con Luke and X-34 Land Speeder.
Nice.
Bought it on eBay. Now, lately, I've just been buying from eBay Canada sellers because I don't want to deal with the extra import charges and getting like just shipping from the States during COVID is kind of messy, hit or miss. So, so I found a reputable seller, good price, bought it right away. He shipped it out right away, but the tracking didn't come through. Like I didn't get a tracking number. Like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. And didn't really think about it. Thought, okay, well, from Ontario to me, it's about 4 business days or whatever.
Yeah.
Day 5 goes by, haven't seen it. Day 6, 7, still nothing. The first estimated delivery date comes and goes. The end of the estimated delivery date comes and goes. So the next day, I'm getting kind of concerned. I contact the seller and said, hey, I don't want a refund, don't want anything like that. I just really like to get my my product, and can you offer any insight? Where's it at? And he comes back right away. Oh, so sorry. Tracking says it was delivered 13 days ago. Like, what? Says it was delivered to his side door. Like, I don't use my side door. I don't shovel my side door. Like, Canada Post has never brought anything there. Mm-hmm. I'm at work an hour away from my home when I get this message. I'm like freaking. I got to get off early. I got to like, what can I do? Like,
look, I'm for 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's been like, and we had a major snowstorm during that. So like my driveway's drifting 3 to 5 feet of snow, and I'm just like freaking. How was it packaged? And did the plastic freeze? Is it even there? Did someone walk off with it? So anyway, I get home, get the shovel out, get the deck shoveled off, and sure enough, there's the box, frozen solid to the step. Had to put all my weight into it to break it off, get it inside, let it climatize, put it in front of some heaters, melt it down, took the first box off. The seller shipped it immaculately, like styrofoam and plastic wrap inside. So the outside box was completely destroyed. Everything inside was perfect. So, nice. Other than that, I got he's kind of set up in the Boba Fett shot right now, but I got the land speeder, or the biker. Yeah, speed biker and the biker scout, and he comes with. It's from the Mandalorian, so he comes with the child.
Bring him over a little bit more.
A little more.
Like, yeah, in front of your face is kind of where you're centered. So, okay, there you go.
Yeah, which is very cool.
Does he come out of there and everything?
He doesn't. It's just the head.
Okay.
But today I broke down and I ordered the I can't say it right, but Baby Yoda from CDM store in Ontario it's like $17.
Yeah.
And the head is slightly different than this one, so I now have options for heads for him.
Does that head come off? Can you swap?
Does. Yeah. So just like boom, just like you would with
okay.
normal figure.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping to eventually. I think it's a Target exclusive, so I won't see it around here. But sometimes, like being up here in Canada, we don't have like Target, but we still have Toys R Us's. So sometimes our Toys R Us gets Target exclusive and stuff. So I'm hoping I maybe see it one day. But the Mandalorian, where his helmet actually comes off, and you see Pedro Pascal underneath there, and he comes with a Baby Yoda.
Yes.
Like, I didn't care enough about Baby Yoda to buy the single packed one, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'll get the if I can get the unmasked Mandalorian and get Yoda with him, then sure.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll seek that thing out eventually if it doesn't show up in stores.
Yesterday, this little lady showed up.
Nice.
The A New Hope version of Leia. I was kind of hesitant on this. Like, I needed a Leia for my Heroes collection.
Yeah.
I was going to go with the Hoth one, but A New Hope is my favorite of the three, so I wanted kind of a good representation of that. The Han Solo that I have is from Endor, so you take the coat off, and I mean, he looks like the New Hope version to me anyway. But it was $25 and like $10 shipping for from a Canadian seller. So okay, for that, yeah, I'll pull the trigger. I'll see what it's like. And man, she's great. She holds her weapon so well. She poses good. The soft goods aren't annoying. On the flip side of that, the Luke that comes with the X-34, one of the worst figures. Period. Yeah. Not just Black Series, but it probably won't show up so well. But like his head, his chin sticks out so far, and his clothes are so big. He's got kind of a bow-legged walk going on. Like, unless I catch him at the right angle in the speeder, like I can't use him for any other New Hope type shots. And it kind of looks like he has tonsillitis or has wisdom teeth out or something. Poor guy.
X-Wing Luke is the one I went with. And I think we talked before about how I really don't want to buy all the human characters. I try and stick to monsters and robots when it comes to Star Wars Black Series. But I have ended up picking up, because I got snow versions of Han and Luke when I got the Tauntaun and the Wampa. And I got the Bounty Hunter Leia. So I just played her with the helmet on, so she could just as easily be that character, Bosch, or whatever I don't remember what.
I can't even pronounce it, yeah.
Because it's not a good Leia, because she's taller than Luke and Han. Like, it doesn't make sense unless she's got lifts, like huge lifts in those boots or something. But yeah, the Luke that I chose to buy for my collection that wasn't coming with anything else was the X-Wing Luke. I thought he looked pretty cool. Because, those New Hope ones, like even the single-carded one and everything, he looked kind of gangly. And even now, like, you can find the one with the like metal around his neck and stuff, and he looks weird, like he's got like eye makeup on or something.
Yeah, the Yevon version, I think it is. Yeah. Yevon ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that one either. But I think you had said something about you wanted the Endor one, and I feel like I'd maybe seen it a week earlier. Like I was at Toys R Us, and I think they had all three Endor, like Luke, Han, and Leia, and I was like, yeah, I don't need these guys, so I'm not really looking to buy the heroes. But then I saw somebody reviewing the Luke online and realized, if you take his little thing off, tunic off, it's Jedi Luke. Like, I didn't realize he's wearing just all black under there, because the head sculpt looks good and everything, and the removable helmet and everything. I was like, you know what, maybe I should have picked those guys up when I had the chance. I don't know if they're still at Toys R Us, but...
Luke is the only one I can't find.
Yeah. Phil Mandalorian probably revved up the interest in Luke in general, but especially Jedi Luke, so...
Yeah. Yeah, so that being said, I had to get a Luke to kind of fill in for for General Derp over here. I ended up going with the deluxe Yavin version. Yeah, he's got the kind of dark circle things, but he comes with the helmet with the blast shield and the training droid from A New Hope. So
Okay.
I'm hoping that maybe, like, worst case scenario, I put the blast shield helmet on. I don't have to look at the eyes, but maybe between the two of them, I can make something that's passable for A New Hope. But I mean, there's enough extras in the deluxe version, and it was only $34 Canadian. So, like, yeah, may as well. I like the accessories, like guns going in holsters and whatnot, and that's what I liked about GI Joe. That's what I love about the Black Series stuff. So I'm leaning towards characters that have more accessories and more, I guess, play features.
Well, let me ask you something. And I could probably still get them at this point. Maybe they're sold out, but I think I backed the Action Force Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
And if anybody's not familiar, this is a guy that used to work at Hasbro on G.I. Joe and stuff. He started his own 6-inch line of military figures. They look amazing, but they have been delayed, so nobody has them in hand yet. It was done as a Kickstarter, and initially there was like 6 or 7 figures that you could get, but since then he's kind of added some. Like there was there's kind of a sci-fi villain called the Swarm Trooper.
The bee, yeah.
Picked it up like a bee, and so that was one in the initial Kickstarter, but then they did the BotCon exclusive, so he's painted look like Waspinator, so he's all this metallic green and stuff. So then they added him, and then he signed a deal with Sergeant Slaughter to get him to be a part of Action Force. Now he added him. So even though I backed the Kickstarter ages ago, since then I've been able to add more money to it, and another figure is going to be added to my order, and so when it eventually comes, I'm going to have a pretty sweet pile of new Action Force figures. But because of the delay, to kind of soften the blow a little bit, just today he put up some items for sale that he has. So he's been making his own comic book to kind of give it a storyline. So they're $5 an issue. He's got 4 issues done so far. I really do want to read it, but I don't know if I can justify. It's $5 American. So it'd be $20 American for the 4 comics, but then anything, he's got flat rate shipping, so anything international is $17 shipping. So I'm looking at $37 US, which is close to $50 Canadian. And I'm like, man, $50 Canadian for 4 comic books. And I don't even know, for one, I don't want to knock it, but I don't know what the quality of these things are. I don't know if they're officially 22 pages or they could be 10-page jobbies for all I know. So I'm kind of hoping that there'll be another avenue to get them later. Maybe even if he keeps it going, maybe a trade paperback sometime down the road or something. But the other thing he did, the figures are all going to have, the weapons are all going to have multiple paint apps, so the stocks are painted and all that sort of stuff. But he has every gun and knife that's available in Wave 1, and I think there's 35 different weapons. He was selling today, they're all in solid black with no paint, and what he's calling it is the armaments, I can't remember, demo package or something. And he even came up with a little storyline about why these are the prototype guns or something. So they come in a little baggie with a little cardboard topper that's got a little story on it or whatever.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's there's 35, 36 weapons. They're all really nice. They all have removable stocks and the grenade launcher spins and all this stuff. And it's $30. So you're less than $1 a weapon. Now again, that's American, and I'd have to pay the $17 shipping. But then I could justify the price of the comic books a little bit if I lumped it all together. But and so I had it in my cart today, and I was thinking I'm just not a weapons guy. Hearing you talk about it, you're into it. But I have bins and bins of just spare weapons. Even with the new G.I. Joe classifieds, I give them a gun and a knife. Anything else they come with goes in a bin, and I never see it again. So if I bought this pack of weapons, I'm sure they'd be cool, but I wouldn't even know what to do with them. They pretty much all go in storage because since I bought all of Wave 1, I'm going to get all those guns packaged with the individual figures anyway. So I think it was kind of just the excitement of buying something new, and this was exclusive and they're limited, they're going to sell out. And so I bought it. I was going to buy it, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm just going to throw these in a bin. But if you want to check them out, because I also get a 15% discount off of it for being a Kickstarter backer. Like if it's something that you think you would want to arm your GI Joes or something, take a look at it.
Absolutely, yeah. Awesome.
So, yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's in your collection. If it isn't, you might not be able to answer. But do you have any of the battle droids or the heavy battle droids?
Not from the Black Series. Just some old 90s ones from
the
S line, yeah.
I was hoping you did and that they were horrible and you were going to tell me not to buy them because I had them in my cart at the bad toy store.
They are horrible. Like, I was on that Phantom, like, I know you had said you didn't have any Star Wars toys when you were a kid or growing up or anything. Like, I grew up with them, and when the Phantom Menace was coming out, I went to the midnight event. I was there and I bought, like, all the figures that came out at midnight before I'd seen the movie. And I remember the first figure they revealed from Phantom Menace was a battle droid on what they called the Stap or whatever, this weird little hovery thing. And they put that on the cover of Toy Fair magazine and like hyped it up like our first toy from Phantom Menace. And so I bought all that shit. And I think the battle droid, the first one, like it was the white one, and you could get them in 4 different, like there was like blast effects painted on one, or like lightsaber blast, or clean, or whatever. And I can't remember what the other one, but I think there were 4. And so it was all the same figure. They weren't, packaging wasn't different or anything. It was just kind of, like for the fans to know that you could get 4 variants. So I bought 4 of them, and then of course I had to buy the dark brown one later and all that stuff. And I hated those things when that movie came out. Like I was like, what? These things? These are stupid. These robots suck. So yeah,
I was the same as you. Like exactly. I didn't buy them like the 3 3/4 inch, but I went to the movie. I was like big on the hype, and then totally disappointed and thought that like all that stuff was horrible. Stayed away from it the longest time. If you watch the Clone Wars, it might change your mind. I just finished season 7 for the second time. I watched everything right through when season 7 came out, and then just rewatched season 7. And do I ever want a whole lot of battle droids and a Grievous and a General Obi-Wan?
See, I have General Obi-Wan.
Yeah. He's $200 on eBay.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, like I haven't watched any of the Clone Wars cartoon except for the last. I think I watched the whole last season.
Mm-hmm.
Because my little brother had watched it, and he's like, "You gotta watch it. It ties right into, Revenge of the Sith or whatever." So I was like, "All right, I'll watch it." And that did make me want to buy the Black. Like I pre-ordered the Black Series of all the Bad Batch guys, and Bo-Katan and all those characters. But yeah, it didn't win me over for battle droids. Maybe if I watched all 7 seasons or all 11, however many seasons there were. But they still seem pretty incompetent and stupid in the episodes I remember watching.
They totally are, and I want to blow them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, they just look like really good fodder for explosions, and I can have arms flying off and whatnot. And, I could do that with a regular human or humanoid, but that's kind of gruesome. And I have done some blood type shots, but I try to stay away from that a little bit. I don't want to get too gory and too realistic, but having limbs flying off robots, very cool.
So is that all your new stuff? It's all the
black? Got the speeder too. He's kind of a little bit too big to throw up there, but it's big. It's very big. It's not super heavy, but it's got enough weight to it that it feels substantial. The play features are amazing.
Did that come with a figure as well?
It comes with DAC. It comes with the grappling hook that Luke uses to shoot up to the walker. It comes with the grenades. You barely see it on screen, but the grenade that he throws in the belly of the walker, so you get 2 of those. They all store in the vehicle. The handles to pull the canopy down are perfect. DAC fits in great. It's got the grappling hook, and the grappling hook will really reel out. You have to pull it back in manually, but whatever. What is my phone doing? Siri, go away. Siri trying to tell me what a grappling hook is.
I was thinking when you first said to check your phone, I'm like, oh, I'll just cut this out. But I'm like, well, that might be worth keeping in there.
Totally keep that in there.
Agree, just jumping in there,
I got the Luke with it. He's right here handy. He's great. He's basically the same as the DAC figure with a different head and slightly different gear on him, Jedi belt and whatnot.
Cool.
Great looking Luke sculpt. Fits great in the vehicle. Yeah, that gets my full recommendation. Love that guy. And again, that was Amazon for about $100, I think.
So
I want to touch on something you just said it there about Black Series with the reissues or the re-release, and that's something that's so close to my heart. Like coming into a line, I don't know when it started. What, like 2014? Black Series started, somewhere around there. I mean, so I'm 7 years late to the party. Normally all the core figures are going to be in your first two waves or whatever. So like the Gamorrean Guard, I just got my ship notification or pile of loot from Big Bad Toy Store. If they didn't release him, there's no way I'd be able to track him down without spending a lot of cash.
He was a Target exclusive as well, and I wanted him from the day he was announced, but right away at Target exclusive, people were selling him for double the price on the secondary market, and I was like, I just kind of kept hoping that eventually he would see a wide release, and eventually now he did. So I got mine's in the mail now too as well from Big Bad. So
nice. And the Stormtroopers, I'm a huge Stormtrooper fan. I don't need all the different variants. I'm staying away from all the First Order stuff, but anything from those first three movies, like I just kind of thought maybe they won't be available. I'm sure they would have been early on, but the Mandalorian, just that wave came out, so I bought a bunch of those, and they look great. Doesn't come with the big rifle, but I don't really need that. I got some of the snow versions, and they come with the rifle. So
you're all for the repop, is what you're saying? Or
yeah.
And me too. Like because you definitely see it sometimes in GI Joe message boards and stuff. People get really mad when a figure that was rare becomes readily available or something like. And I don't really get that. Like I figure you want everybody to be able to enjoy these things. I get the frustration when something is rare and they kind of indicate like, oh, this is going to be rare, and then you pay top dollar for it, and then they put it out again at retail, and you're like, like that sucks. Like they've done that with a couple like Marvel Legends. I remember I think you could get an Asgardian set that had the Enchantress in it or something, and my brother really wanted Enchantress, but he didn't want to buy that whole set, so like I think he paid like $80 or something just to get one Enchantress figure, because the box set was selling for like $200, and so he's like, but then they put out Enchantress like 6 months later in just regular retail, and he was kind of like, so I get it when that sucks, but it also sucks for if you want people to join the line, like they're not going to want to collect the new stuff if they don't have Luke, Han, and Chewie and Leia and stuff. They're like, well, why would I collect Star Wars figures if I can't get those? Like this, I had a bunch of Super 7 stuff I was planning on talking about, but I don't know, we might not have time because we're already at 50 minutes. But they recently put up pre-orders of their Thunder Tank. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And so, that thing looks huge. It's like $500. I'm not going to get it. For one, it's too big, it's too expensive, and I wasn't that big of a Thundercats fan anyway. But I have, Lion-O's the only figure I have from their Ultimate Thundercat. But I've got like 6 more on pre-order. I've got like Mumra and Tigra. But so those early figures like Lion-O is sold out everywhere, and they're made to order. And there was lots of comments saying like, okay, you put out this Thunder Tank, and I didn't even know there were Thundercat toys, but I'm an old Thundercat fan. Now I see this thing, it's amazing. But why would I want to buy this Thunder Tank when it's impossible to get Lion-O to drive it? And I think there was probably a lot of that, and they just announced like yesterday that they're going to make all the sold out Thundercats figures available again. And so I'm sure that's going to piss off just as many people as it like pleases, because people will be mad that they were, the collectability goes down or whatever. But I think that's a good move, because why would you want a Thunder Tank? Pay $500 for a Thunder Tank, and you can't get a Lion-O to go with it, like.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing with the Ninja Turtles. When Super 7 announced they were doing the TMNT Ultimates, I was really on the fence because they were charging a premium. Like those figures are 45 or $50 US, which is like 60, 65 Canadian plus you tack on the shipping. Like, these are expensive Ninja Turtles. And NECA is already making really good Ninja Turtles that I can buy locally a lot cheaper. So Wave 1 didn't have any figure that really was essential to me. Like they did Raph and Splinter and a Foot Soldier and Baxter Stockman. Baxter was the one I was tempted about, but then I did buy the Baxter Stockman, the glow-in-the-dark version of it for San Diego, so I thought, okay, I scratched that itch, but I don't care about the other three. But then they were sold out everywhere, and you couldn't find them. And then when Wave 2 came out, it had Bebop, who's my all-time favorite character, Leonardo, who's my all-time favorite Ninja Turtle, and Mutagen Man, which is like a super cool-looking figure, and then Shredder. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to pre-order the three of them. Shredder I could have maybe passed on, but I'm like, what the hell? Like, it is Shredder. I'll just get all of them. So then I got all of Wave 2 pre-ordered, and it's in the mail right now, too. It's on its way to me. And then with Wave 3, I kind of picked and chose. But, like, once I get them in hand and I realize, like, I really like this line, it's one thing if I can't get a Foot Soldier or even Splitter, but if you can't get Raph, and you're like, I've only got 3 of the 4 turtles, and the first one is selling for, like, $200 on the secondary market. So, yeah, just, like, last week or the week before, they announced that they were doing a slight repaints of all the Wave 1 figures to give people another chance. And again, I've seen a lot of people were mad about it, but there was also a lot of people like me. I immediately bought Raph, and he was sold out within a couple hours again on Big Bad Toy Store of the version 2. So obviously there was demand because that line has been building momentum as people are seeing reviews online and stuff. So yeah, the re-release is a good thing, I think, and hopefully it continues because I don't want to have to pay secondary market for like Baroness.
Yeah.
And did you see, like I know where you're just kind of getting into Mythic Legions, they do these All-Star waves.
I saw the announcement coming up. Has it happened yet?
I don't. It might have happened, but the voting has started, I think.
Okay, yeah, I did see that.
So yeah, you have to vote, and I think we had talked before when I started the line because I've got about 20 or so figures from the line already, but the skeletons were kind of my focus. But even from the first wave, there was like 6 or 7 skeletons, and these figures were expensive, so I had to pick and choose. And the red skeleton with the red bones, Clavion or whatever, that's one of the ones I didn't get, and I didn't know these figures would become so expensive on the secondary market and all that later, so it's like, damn it, I should have just paid the $50 or $60 for him at the time rather than... So anyway, he's one of the characters that's up for voting now, so I'm hoping he makes it into the All-Star wave because then I can get him at regular retail. So that'll be nice.
I got my eye on the greenish skeleton. I'm hoping he'll pass for a Skeletor. Yeah,
and I think I can't remember. I think I need him too, actually, because I did see those 2 skeletons there. Because the ones I passed on, I think, were those 2. The one that's gold, where his bones were gold.
Yeah. And
then there's one that's got like a chainmail helmet, with a chainmail on the side of his seat. So I passed on them. But I've got a pretty good skeleton army. I've got I think 7 or 8 skeletons. But yeah, they made a lot of them, and it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Collect this big stupid toy.
I got 3 skeletons on pre-order. They've been on pre-order for 6 months now. Every 4 months or so, it just says the ETA is the next quarter. Last quarter in 2020, first quarter in 2021.
But my Snake Mountain. So
yes.
That apparently shipped from Alberta last Friday. So FedEx took them, and what Buddy told me, so the guy in Canada that was kind of acting as the shipper or whatever. So he had taken all the orders in Canada. They ended up at his warehouse, and then he had to find a way to get them out to us. So FedEx picked them up from him finally on Friday. 2 months. He's had them for 2 months now, and it's going to go from Alberta to an Ontario warehouse, and then from there, once it leaves that distribution center, that's when I should get my first email with an actual shipping number. And he told me that it could take 7 business days before it goes from his place in Alberta to get to the Ontario place. So if it went out last Friday, tomorrow's going to be it's been 5 or 6 business days. So hopefully first thing next week, I'll at least get an actual tracking number. And it's coming. It'll be here soon. I'm excited.
It's so close. Have you watched any of the reviews on it?
I've watched like
Have you?
I
Yeah.
won't say all of them, but I've watched like Pixel Dan. I always watch his stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's the go-to guy for Masters of the Universe stuff. And I have watched a couple other ones as well, so I know what to expect. Another frustrating thing is, so in the last email from the guy in Alberta, he's like, okay, this is your final email from me. They're going out tomorrow. Blah 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 blah. He's like, when you get these things, don't open it right away because of the cold temperature. You should let it reach room temperature. So don't open it for 2 or 3 hours or something. It's like, you're killing me, man. When this box shows up, it's going to look like a washing machine showing up at on my door, and I got to bring it in, and I'm going to have to just sit and wait for it to warm up before I can open it. Like, it makes sense. I'm glad he, reminded me of that. It's probably going to be cold on that truck or whatever, but still, it's going to
Torture.
suck. I know. But what do
you ever watch toy reviews after you've gotten a toy and opened it and whatnot? I don't know if it's just me, but I find like as soon as I get into the package, I've taken some shots of it. Like I want to see what other people are doing with it. And a lot of times, like I didn't know about this, but on R2, you can open up the front and his little, I had no idea until I watched the videos on it. And I'd taken like 5 shots with this guy.
Yeah,
so,
that too. Sometimes like, so this guy's mouth opens or, things like that. You didn't realize. But I'm the same way. Like when I'm waiting for something, I will watch a review. Like there's a couple of guys like Pixel Dan. I watch it when he posts it. He usually posts something before I get it. But every now and again, he posts something like 2 months after I've already got it. But I'm like, I still want to hear his take on it.
Yep.
But yeah, when it comes to, every time I read a comic book now, like I put the comic book down and then I go over to like comic book review roundup and I can read like what everybody's saying about it. If I watch a movie, I'm somebody that likes to try to avoid trailers and stuff for the most part. But as soon as it's done, I want to hear what everybody's talking about and what people are saying. And yeah, you find stuff that sometimes you miss, and sometimes you think, maybe I better give that a second look. I just missed it quickly, but yeah, there was, something else going on there.
Oh, it helps me enjoy it more. It's a way of sharing, I guess, with other people or sharing experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how like we connected because like you're sharing your toys because maybe you don't have anybody in your inner circle that cares, and I'm kind of the same way. Like I've got good buddies, but they're not like super into this stuff. So yeah, you go online and you find like-minded people, and yeah, it works out. Like I said, there's all the Super 7 stuff. We're already at like an hour and 15 minutes, and so I'm just going to power through this. But I know you're not collecting much by them, or if anything, are you?
I don't have anything Super 7.
Because like I buy a lot of their Ultimates, and I buy the reaction figures. Like last time we talked on here, I told you I was thinking of buying the Conan with the paint, so I ordered that, and I've since ordered the Raphael and stuff from Turtles. So like I'm getting, there's more and more coming, and the Thundercats, like with them repopping them, I'm like I didn't care about Panthro before, and I let him sell out, but I'm like maybe I should get Panthro. He is one of the main guys. So.
Yeah.
But they had a week of reveals like a couple of weeks ago, where every day they were saying they got new property. Some of them, were like, whatever. They had like a couple, like they had Run DMC and Run the Jewels. Like, that doesn't really care. They had Power Rangers, which I don't care about Power Rangers. Yeah. They had the Transformers Ultimates, which, because I know like you had the Red Series, all 3 of them made your top 10 last year.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Ultimates are probably going to be better than them.
I hate to say it, but I think you're right.
But they're so expensive. Like
super expensive.
They're $55 a pop US. And like we said, the ship, like you're talking $70, or so a figure. So, and even though I appreciate that they didn't go with just Megatron, Soundwave, I kind of wish they did a little bit more, because like this first wave, like even though I'm kind of a hardcore Transformer guy, they went like really deep. Like they've got Optimus, which feels like, well, of course, like you're gonna make Optimus.
Yeah.
I already have the Red Series Optimus. Like, do I really want to pay $70 for another Optimus? And then Ghost Starscream is a kind of, because where he's going to be a translucent figure, that's kind of cool and different from what the Red series will be. But yeah, then they went with Bombshell and Bunzaitron.
Yeah.
And Bombshell, I think, would have been a home run if it was G1 Bombshell. I love the Insecticons, but they went with the Power. Was it Power Master?
Power Master, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like the secondary version of Bombshell that never transformed back in like the late 80s or early 90s whenever those came out. And it's like, that's not a look I'm familiar with Bombshell. And I'm like, I don't want to pay $70 for this Bombshell and then you make the other version of Bombshell like a year from now or something. I'm like, I don't know. I'm really torn about it. Like, I kind of want to get all four just to cover my bases in case these things sell out. And then I become a collector of the line. And I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't slept on Wave 1. So I kind of want them all, but I kind of want none of them at the same time, too. I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll just wait to see what Wave 2 looks like. Like, I'm really on the fence about these things.
I want to see them, like, when I say in the wild, like, next to other things, just for scale and, like, how shiny they are. The pictures that I've seen, they look good, but it almost looks like a Photoshop render. Everything's just way too pristine.
And, like, I know people, like, so Brian Flynn is the guy that, like, owns Super 7. He seems like a really nice guy. He posts lots of videos, and he's very forthcoming with stuff, with explaining how things get priced out and all this sort of stuff. But, man, he catches a ton of shit online. People are always, like, mad at him for quality control issues and, late shipping. And I feel like everybody's a little too hard on him. But sometimes I get the frustration in that people when he put these Transformers up for sale, people were commenting like, "What's the articulation look like? These things look like bricks. Like, how do they move?" And so the 2 weeks of the pre-order had gone by, and they're only open for I think 8-week pre-order window. And 2 weeks go by, and nobody knows anything about them. And so then he finally put out a video the other day, and he's like, "Everybody's been asking me about the articulation." And he literally does this. So he had his Voltron Ultimate figure, and he's like, "Here's the Ultimate." So the Transformers will move like him. So his head moves, and his arms back and forth, legs back and forth, ankle, pivot. And, that's kind of like what he did. And you're like, well, show me in a pose. Yeah. Put him on his knees, or show me doing a drop kick, or, you didn't pose him. It looks to me like the Transformer Ultimate's legs only go forward and back, you can't spread them. And it's like, well, then they are going to be very stiff, kind of like a reaction figure if their legs only go forward and backward. And the ankle rocker, what's the point of having rocker ankles if the legs can't be spread out, because they're always going to have to sit flush.
Yep.
There's just a lot of things I didn't understand. And you're like, you made this video supposedly to clear things up, but I feel like you're being deliberately obtuse about it. Just say it. What it does. Tell me what it does. The other one that I was really excited about, because when we talked in our last video, and we kind of talked about 2020 and what were our highs and lows, and this wasn't a major one for me, but I did kind of just throw it out there that NECA had lost the Godzilla license because they were making some really cool figures, and now with this new Kong versus Godzilla movie, all I have are the shitty, Walmart toys that are really low quality. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Super 7 announced they've got the Godzilla license, and they said that they can do all the monsters, which is something NECA could never do. So we're talking Megalon and Gigan and Rodan and all those guys. So, and he said that they can do Ultimates and reaction figures. So now I'm so stoked at the potential of these. I'm shuddering to think of the cost. Because I'll probably want to collect them in both formats, to be honest with you. The reaction figures are $25 just for the little guy, but the Ultimates, I can't imagine him charging the same price for an Ultimate Godzilla as he does for the Ultimate Transformers, because the tail and all that. I can imagine they're going to be probably $65 American. That they're going to cost me $100 a figure essentially, and I don't know if I'm that deep on that, but I'm glad there's a good toy company making them, and I'm really excited to see what they show. Because I just like the way Super 7's the quality of their plastic, the way their toys look more like toys. They're a little shinier and brighter. that's kind of more my preferred aesthetic. Where the NECA stuff was more like McFarlane's, kind of more of a matte. They're a little more delicate. They're clearly more adult collectible. And I thought they made really cool Godzillas, but I think Super 7 doing big chunky toyetic Godzillas has a ton of potential. So that's cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think the other thing they revealed was Silverhawks, which
have you seen any of those? I never saw the cartoon.
They didn't show it. They didn't have anything to show. They started selling T-shirts and like drinking glasses and stuff, but they just said we've got the property now, so they are going to do Ultimates, and they are going to probably do reaction figures too. And he did answer on one of his Q&As that they're not going to be vac metal. Like all the vintage toys were vac metal, but they didn't have elbows and stuff, so it was easy to vac metal them. But he said, no, we're going to have opposable figures, so it's going to be a shiny metal paint, but it's not going to be. So that's kind of a bummer. But I never owned any of those as a kid, and I never watched the cartoon. I'll maybe buy the main guy, but that's about it.
I saw a picture on Twitter, and they were highly articulate. I don't know if it was photoshopped or just a mock-up or whatnot, but if it's the real thing, they look amazing. Yeah.
Well, see, like, the Ultimates figures, he seems to use the same, like, buck as the Masters Universe Classics. Because all the Conans are built on that. Even, like, the music figures, they all sort of seem to have the same. And I like that articulation. I like that kind of figure, but they're not necessarily super articulate. Like, He-Man's got the elbows and knees and all that stuff, but you can't, like, have him swing his axe with both hands or anything. Like, he's still kind of stiff. So, yeah, if you saw something online, I would think it maybe is a Photoshop, because I don't think Super 7 has revealed anything about Silverhawks yet. And just knowing that they try to stick with the same aesthetic across all their lines, I think it'll be more of the same. Like, articulated, but not hella articulated. Yeah. And then the last property they had, I think, was Star Trek Next Generation, which doesn't do much for me either, but yeah.
I got a ton of the Playmates Next Generation stuff and some of the original series. That's enough for me.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a big Star Trek guy in general, but if they did Ultimates of, like, the original crew, like, I would definitely get the Kirk and Spock and McCoy and stuff. But yeah, I don't really care about Next Gen, so.
And the new stuff, I mean, it's fun to watch the new movies, but yeah, I don't need any figures of them.
No. Well, I don't know. I like the new movies. I have all the pops of the new cast. But yeah, that's probably sufficient.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Like, yeah, we're going to hit the hour and a half mark here. I'll edit it down slightly, but probably not a whole lot. Anything else you want to talk about or share before we wrap up?
Yeah, no, I think I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good. We can keep talking after, but I'll probably stop recording just because it'll get to be too much here. I guess thanks for coming on. We'll do it again anytime you want to do this. You can join me. We'll do it again soon.
Sounds good.
And so everybody, thank you for watching. Hit like, subscribe, comment below. Any questions for me or for Matt? Write them down below. Make sure you follow Matt on Instagram at Matemylar. And all right. So you can stay on the line. I'm going to hit the stop record button. All right.
Sounds good.
We can do our sign off together. All right. Ciao.